Welcome to Randy Feltface and Friends. Coming up tonight, Aurelia St Clair, Jude Perl, Cassie Workman, and Luke Heggie. Now give it up for Randy Feltface.
This is so exciting! Welcome, friends, to Randy Feltface and Friends. I'm Randy Feltface, and you are all my friends now. This is going to be great. How you feeling tonight? You all good? Yeah! That's the spirit. We have a fantastic lineup for you this evening. 4 incredible acts, handpicked by myself in direct consultation with the Melbourne International Comedy Festival Brains Trust. I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors, the haberdashery department of my local second-hand store, where I was able to purchase this beautiful fabric to make my set. I'll be repurposing this fabric after the show to make an outfit to attend a casual dinner function in the late 1970s. So that's going to be good. Oh my gosh, we've got such a good show for you. We are filming this, as you know. There are cameras around the room. This will be available to watch online. So please turn your phones off. No photos. I know everyone always likes to take photos. Get in the photo. We're doing a photo. How good are photos? Just resist the temptation, please, for the duration of the show. I mean, what are you going to do with those photos, honestly? Show them to your grandchildren? Oh, look, this is when I went to see Randy. What the fuck is a Randy? Your memories are worthless, Grandma. We had a meeting. You're out of the family. So no photos, and I'm as disappointed as you are because my comedy actually works best in photos. Most comedy does. Look at this, you ready? This is the greatest gig of my life! See that? Ready for this? This is the worst gig of my life! Exactly the same photos. Never ever judge a comedian by their photograph, unless they're doing this pose on their comedy festival poster. Judge the shit out of them if they're out there pulling that crap. If you want realistic shots of comedy shows, focus on the audience. That's what I want to see when I get home from a show, just scrolling through the socials in the dark, covered in tortilla crumbs and regret. I want shots of the audience at my shows just doing this. This isn't the Queen's Gambit. Blah! And some of you tonight may actually end up on camera. So we want a lot of energy from you all. Big laughs, applause breaks, lots of wooing. In fact, let's do a woo together. On the count of 3, give me a woo. 1, 2, 3. Oh, feels good, doesn't it? You can't woo on the streets anymore, can you? They don't let you fucking woo out there on the streets anymore. Unless you're in a group. If you're in a group of people on the streets, you can be like, woo, woo. Everyone's like, oh, they're having a nice time, aren't they? But if you're on your own, solitary wooer, that's not a good look, is it? Just... woo! 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 Stay away from that wooing man. He's too liberal with his woos. But this is a safe space to woo. Most importantly, please keep in mind all of those people at home watching who may not be able to get out and see a show in real life at the moment. So if you do notice yourself being filmed, please just take your mask off, touch your face, turn to the person next to you, spit directly into their mouth. Just really rub it in for the home viewers if you could. That'd be fantastic. For those of you at home watching this, just do whatever you want. You know, take your pants off, crack a bottle of wine, take drugs if you want. We don't care. Apparently, I'm very entertaining if you're high. There's a lot of colour and movement. It's like a live cartoon. Boing, boing, boing. So please, do whatever you want at home. Have a pot brownie or a hash cookie or some weed cake or a wacky tobacco toasted sangy. I don't know what the kids are doing these days, but get amongst it. I thought wacky tobacco toasted sangy deserved more, but that's fine. If you're watching at home with children, there will be a bit of swearing, but not too much. I believe we've been allocated 5 swear words for the broadcast version of the show, and I've already said fuck once, so, now I've said fuck twice. Oh, wait, that's 3 times I've said fuck. Oh, fuck, that's 4. I used them all up. What a dumb cunt. That'll get bleeped. I don't have any children of my own. Don't really know how to talk to the kids. I'm at that age now where I've started using phrases like, I'm at that age now. And I'm also at that age now where people keep saying to me, Randy, you're going to have kids, you should have some kids. It's the most fulfilling experience you'll ever have. Yeah? Owning a car that doesn't have any crumbs in it. That's pretty fucking fulfilling. I like being single. Single is good. Single has its perks. A lot of perks. For example, I never have to call anybody from the supermarket and be like, babe, they don't have the one with the blue label. I don't know. I don't know what I said. I said, I fucking don't know. And that's pretty much it. That is the only perk. Just that and a total absence of responsibility for the emotional security of another human being at the expense of my own true happiness. Oh, but Randy's got no one to watch The Good Place with. No. Oh, you people are amazing. This is going to be such a wonderful show. And the lineup we have for you this evening is going to melt your collective faces. Are you ready to get this shit started? Then please make some noise, clap your hands, stomp your feet, and welcome to stage the amazing Aurelia St Clair!
Good to be here. So good to be here. The other day, I went to 7-Eleven. That's it. We're keeping the bar really low. The other day, I went to 7-Eleven, and the owner asked me how year 12 was going. And I was honestly just so flattered that he assumed that I stayed in school till year 12. Not me. So that was my first piece of good news for you amidst a hectic year. My other piece of good news that I brought for you today is that I became a permanent resident of Australia last year. Thank you. Thank you. It feels so good. It feels really good. I finally feel like I belong here a little bit more. I finally feel a little bit more relaxed. I finally feel like I can now say some really Australian things. Like I can finally say the C word. The C word in Australia, of course, is colonizer. Tricked you cunts. I've had, like I said, a great year. I've spent a lot of time in my favourite place, at home and online. And while I was online, I was doing a lot of productive stuff like taking quizzes. So I took this quiz. It said, take this quiz to find out how many children you will have. So of course I needed to take it. 30 questions. In the end it tells me, you will have no children at all. And I just never thought I'd find out I'm infertile that way. I've been really lucky as well in the last year. I've been able to keep my job, which has been great because I'm not the kind of person who puts a lot of effort into job applications, just so they know what to expect. Once I start working there. I always make sure, though, that on my CV, I have a photo of myself just so they know that they will meet the diversity quota. I've been missing the office a little bit because I work in one of those really millennial offices where we have a fridge full of kombucha and coconut water. One of those really fancy coffee machines, like barista-level coffee machine, because they know that everybody who works in this role used to be a barista. But I will share as well with you this really handy tip that has really helped me with my job applications. Because did you know that on your CV, you can just say that you do have an arts degree? Nobody checks. Save me $30,000 right there. And I like to say that if you live in Melbourne, especially in the north, that's pretty much an arts degree. You can fast track it if you move to Fitzroy. Having a lot of free time, though, I have been thinking back on some other jobs I have worked, and I used to work in this role where I worked at a lot of events where there'd be parents with young children. And I just have to say that parents these days are so switched on. They're so woke. Like, I'd work at these events and there'd be parents with young children, and every child would have like a sticker on their t-shirt or a tag on their backpack with their parents' names and phone numbers. And I just think that's such a great idea because it makes it so much easier for me to contact the parents and ask for a ransom. I can just text that bad boy. Before, I had to be like, hey, little boy, what's your dad's number? He didn't know. Had to keep him. He's my son now. Which is great because the quiz told me I was infertile. It was a lot cheaper than adoption. You've been really lovely, but I've actually got to get back to my son. I've been Aurelia St Clair. Thanks for having me.
Aurelia St Clair, everybody! Keep that applause going, and welcome to stage the incredible Jude Perl!
Oh, thank you. This is a song about labels. I hope that you like it. Well, if a label's helpful, you should use it. If a label's helpful, you should definitely use it. Well, sometimes labels are the key to identify your identity. If a label's helpful, you should use it. If a label makes you feel much safer, so you don't have to explain things to your workmates or your neighbor. If that label helps define who you are and saves you time, if the label's helpful, you should use it. But sometimes labels just cause interference, and some people find them more of a hindrance, cause maybe you don't fit in one group, you're more complex than a can of soup. Unless that label's helpful, then don't use it, cause soup cans have labels, it doesn't matter. When I was 9, I was sure that I was gay. I wore baggy clothes, I was scared of men, and all the boys I liked told me I was gay. But then one day I saw a vag and I said, that's nice, but it's not for me. And I hate to say it, it makes me sick, but I really do love me some dick. If a label gets you something you need, if the label's accurate, then it can help you succeed. If that label gets you the right medication or assists you with your education, if the label's helpful, fucking milk the shit out of it. Well, I was a music artist in my early 20s, but people wouldn't buy it cause I wasn't cool or sexy, cause being sexy and writing songs apparently can't occur independently. But it's cool cause I left the music industry on good terms, mostly. So then I labeled myself a comedian, and a bunch of people were like, nah, You're not a comedian. Well, I guess they're right. What do I know? I've only written and performed 5 full-length comedy shows. I just thought the label might be helpful from a marketing perspective. Thank you. Oh, it's very nice. Wasn't even a real trumpet. Gotcha. Well, some days I wake up and I'm a lady, and other days I wake up and I'm not so much lady. Well, I guess I'm called that gender fluid. Right now I don't need that label, so I don't use it. The label doesn't help me, I don't use it. Some labels might be true for you forever. You take care of those labels cause they hold your life together. Well, there was a time you had to hide that part of you. It's life denied. Now there is no greater warmth or pride when the world affirms who you are inside. Some labels might be true for you at one stage, but being open-minded means allowing yourself to change. That same label that freed your heart could one day be your prison bars. Only use that label when it's helpful, yeah. Only use that label when it's helpful, yeah. Only use that label, we'll only use that label. Only use that label when it's helpful. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Look, I know a lot of people find it helpful to label things like mental health related stuff. And like I said, if it helps you, that's awesome. I personally find that it just makes things worse for me. Like, I really don't like the word depression. It just kind of has way too much stigma. So I prefer to call it forever sad. It's my forever sad. It just sounds a bit more like an adventure, you know? Like, let's go fight the forever sad. It's fun. I also like to call it my durable loneliness, because that sounds positive and strong, like something I could mention in a job interview. It's my durable loneliness. I can feel lonely anytime, anywhere. If you need someone to feel lonely, I'm your guy. It has been a bit of a mental health kind of year for a lot of people. So this is a little song for anyone who maybe just in the past year, but also just generally, you know, has a bit of the forever sads. I hope that you like it. Well-meaning friends might offer advice with solutions that you've heard 1,000 times before. Have you tried meditation? Oh my God, no. You're the first person to suggest appropriated Eastern philosophy. Why didn't I think of that? Well, I'm not gonna tell you everything's gonna be alright, cause I don't know what kind of fucked up shit is happening in your life. But what I will do is share with you some phrases I find comforting. Phrase 1. A light breakfast will be provided. No heavy lifting for the rest of the day. Free postage. But my favorite phrase of all to say is I have a face and you have a face, and every part of it is in the right place. Nobody's face could ever replace your face. That would be a disgrace. Looking around, it's all pretty bleak. Lots of evidence to show the world is ending this week. Try to do the right thing by recycling your soft plastic, but you can't find the drop-off point at the supermarket, so you just put it in the normal bin and feel bad. Well, I'm not gonna tell you that we're all gonna work it out, cause humans are Earth's leechy boyfriend and she's trying to kick us out. But what I will do is share with you some phrases I find comforting. Arch support will be provided. Plush bathrobes available in teal. Comments disabled. But But the phrase that has the most appeal is I have a face and you have a face, and every part of it is in the right place. Nobody's face could ever replace your face. That would be a disgrace, 'cause life doesn't come with any guarantees, like planning a 10-month international tour for the year 2020. Or being disappointed with every Star Wars film made after 1983. Like writing a song called Ironic, and then everyone makes fun of you because the lyrics aren't technically irony. Isn't that ironic? No? I guess I don't really know the definition of that word either. Well, you don't have to tell me everything's gonna be alright. It's nice that you care, but you don't have to lie. I'll tell you what you can do. Use these phrases that are comforting. My shoulder will be provided. I'm sorry, things have been shit. I'm listening, but if you only remember one phrase, make it this. I have a face, and you have a face, and every part of it is in the right place. Nobody's face could ever replace your face. That would be a disgrace, and I would really miss your face. I have a heart, and you have a heart, and I know that sometimes that's the most painful part. But when feelings get scarred, you can cry or make art. That's a start. You're alive, sweetheart. Oh yeah. Ooh. Oh, and I'm sorry if this song is offensive to people that don't have faces. I try to be inclusive of everyone, but I'm still figuring all that stuff out. So if you don't have a face, your lack of face is ace, and I would never want your lack of face to be erased. No. Ooh, I really love your lack of face. Yeah, yeah. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
That was Jude Perl, everybody. Are you all enjoying the show thus far? This is technically the midway point of this show. Traditionally, this would be an intermission, but we don't really have an intermission planned. So maybe if anybody wants to, vape, just have a vape, just to signify an intermission. Anybody have a vape pen? Just fucking vape up. I don't vape. I'm never going to become a vapor. It feels like a betrayal to all of the sweet, sweet cigarettes I smoked throughout my life. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but if you used to smoke cigarettes and now you vape, you're a real piece of shit. You used to be cool, man. Now you're standing on some street corner filleting a tiny exhaust pipe like Fonzie's shit sibling. You used to be cool. I remember the glory days of smoking. This whole room would have been full of cigarette smoke. We all would have stunk like shit, but we didn't care because we looked fucking cool. There would have been ashtrays on all of these tables. Spare a thought for the ashtray manufacturers. They're all sleeping in their cars now, thanks to you vapors. And it's not just to the ashtray people. What about the matches people? Spare a thought for the companies that used to print nightclub logos onto those little books of matches so that grizzled old homicide detectives could fish one out of the pocket of a corpse and know where to start looking for the killer. Thousands upon thousands of unsolved homicides just because you fuckers want to vape. That's bullshit! I'm bloody sick of it! Are you ready to keep the show rolling on, my friends? All right. I am so excited to announce our next act, so please make all of the noise possible from your mouth and head, and welcome to the stage, Cassie Workman!
Hello. I'm trans, by the way. Don't panic. We'll get to it. Hello. Hi. Oh, this is nice. It's nice to be back here. This is wonderful, isn't it? Good. Oh, it's so good. I am trans. I recently started transitioning from male to female. So at the moment, I'm making like 90 cents on the dollar. It's going all right. People they'll say bad things to you. They say weird things to you. You know, like people say to me, "Oh, do you miss being a man? Do you miss being a man? Do you miss being a man?" Fuck no. I miss pockets. Yeah, I miss pockets a lot. Scientists think they might be able to transplant a uterus now. They think that's a possibility for trans women in the future. That's exciting, isn't it? And that's very... still can't sew a pocket into some fucking jeans, though, can they? So, I don't know. People will ask you inappropriate questions. You know, when you're trans, people will ask you about your junk a lot. Don't. And it doesn't matter anyway, you know, genitals are like Mexican food, you know, we all have the same thing, it's just folded differently. Yeah, look, all right, that's funny to me. But also it doesn't sit entirely well with me because I love Mexican food. It's a rich and diverse cuisine, but there is an understanding that it's somewhat homogenous, which I've turned into a joke for the purposes of comedy. What I'm saying is don't email me, I know. It's good, it's grand, it's nice to be here. I have a relative who likes to mock and misgender me. You know, he thinks it's funny to do that, and his reasoning for doing that is, well, I knew you before when you were presenting as a boy, and you can't just change who you are, and besides, it's just words. What kind of weakling is hurt by words, you know? And I thought about that, and I thought, well, you know, maybe he's right. You know, pronouns are just words, after all, and if you are any kind of strong or brave person, it shouldn't matter what you get called. So I decided to put this theory into practice by introducing him to my friends as a recently released sex offender. You'd be surprised, it turns out words actually do matter quite a bit. Fucking snowflake, right? So I don't know. I don't know when I realized. I think probably I realized that something was up at about 13 when I became very sad that I didn't menstruate, you know. And I thought, oh God, I'm pregnant. But you know, puberty is a difficult time. I don't know if people know this generally, but the hormones that they give you to transition are exactly the same as the hormones of your gender during puberty. So some trans people have the incredible privilege of going through puberty twice. You'd think that would make you better at it. No, not at all. It's very difficult going through puberty at 38. Because I have the interests of an adult, but the emotions of a 14-year-old girl, you know. So I have this like overwhelming desire to rebel against authority, but also I really like camembert. Do you know what I mean? Like I developed these like obsessive crushes on cute boys and rock bands, but also I can get a boat loan. What do you do with that? I don't know. So this is all right. This is good. This is nice. You know, before. I'd say I haven't been doing comedy for a while, but before all of the madness happened, I was doing gigs on cruise ships. I don't recommend it. So have you been on a cruise ship? No, of course you haven't, because you're not 108. They were very old. They were very old on this particular cruise ship. Everybody was over 80, right? 80 was the minimum. They were very old, and it's hard to make fun of the elderly, you know, because we're taught to respect and revere the elderly, right? But we forget that the dumb fucks get old too, and you know, and we don't know what to do with them, right? So we put them all in one place, and we push them out to sea. They keep coming back. And they hated me. They hated me. Because, you know, not only are they very old, but they're also very rich, right? So they've never had to solve a problem by thinking about it before. So they don't really get jokes. They hated me. So there's only one type of joke that they get. It's a type of joke called a pullback and reveal. And what that is, that's where you give your audience one piece of information, right? And then the final piece of information that you give them recontextualizes the first, making it surprising and funny. And it's invariably something lowest common denominator, you know. It's always stuff like, oh, I caught the bus here. It's always weird when you catch the bus, you know, because there's always that one guy on the bus. You know this guy on the bus. You've all seen this guy on the bus. You know, he stinks and he's ranting about the CIA and he's masturbating into some crisps. You know this guy. It doesn't help when he's the bus driver. Am I right? I don't do that. I don't do that, and they hated me. I'm not sure why they hated me exactly. I think possibly it was because I represented the new era. And when they saw me, they realized that the world that they had grown up in was now gone forever. And they were literally set adrift. In the last shrinking bubble of their own disappearing ideology. Or possibly it was because I was very drunk and had forgotten to wear pants. And that's how you do a pullback and reveal. I have to go. Thank you for having me. Good night. Bye.
Keep that applause going and welcome to stage your final act for the evening. It's Luke Heggie!
So, right, so this is what I've been up to, right, if you absolutely must know. We went and got a dog, right. We're going to probably have to take it back soon. We're not bored and lonely anymore, but we got one. And it's cool and everything, but it has changed quite a lot having a dog. We had a dog briefly when I was a child. And there was a time, back when we used to treat dogs like dogs, that if your dog farted during the Sunday movie, you kick it outside. Like, as a guide, from anywhere in the house, 4 kicks and your dog would be outside. Now for a farting dog, there's charcoal pills and psychotherapy. Dogs have got allergies now. What's happened? I mean, what an industry, though. Some grifter tried to sell me a $120 jacket for my fur-covered dog. I said, man, I'm all right. Even in the depths of winter, this is nothing that 2 tea towels or rubber band won't fix. And guilt doesn't come cheap either, does it? You go to a vet now and they say, mate, you're not going to believe this. Your dog needs chemotherapy and a hip replacement. It's going to cost you $7 large. But you're going to have to discuss amongst yourselves how much you love this valued member of your family and come up with a decision. You're like, what? You're going to hit me some family value shit, are you? Like a dodgy independent politician. Maybe if you love dogs so much, you should adjust your bottom line. $7,000. I wouldn't spend that on me. I'd just fucking die. So, I mean, probably the best part about having a dog, though, is taking it out in public. I go to dog parks. Dog people, they've lost their minds. Cat people have always had a bad rap. Dog people are worse. I go to dog parks and dog people come up and say, dogs, they're amazing. They're incredible animals. They're just superb. You know, they're all right. And they say, oh, if you get sometimes they're not human, don't you? I say, yeah, I do. But then every now and then I'll look down and go, no, it's definitely a dog. I take mine out for walks, right, and people come up to me and just start talking to my dog. They don't talk to me because I haven't got my name, my phone number around my stupid neck. I just nudged the ice by talking through my dog. And this is complete strangers and neighbours. So let's face it, strangers. Will just come right up to me, get on their hands and knees right there. It's really undignified. And just start saying, what's your name? 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 What's your... And they keep saying it until I have to lean over and go, look, we're going to get to the shops. Will you stop being so rude and answer this lonely fuckhead? Damn. So the other thing I've been up to, right, as a family, we've been going out to small regional towns, only in my own state. Yuck. But it's been all right, sort of thing. But I used to have to go and book motels like an idiot. Now I can just stay in someone else's house and check out their stuff while they're not there, and it's pretty good. And landlords is something that we used to look up. When I was a child, we looked up to landlords. They're very important people. Landlords were... Now, any old bourgeois Bevan is getting a property and just leveraging off that, getting another one and repeating the process. I know a fucking Coldplay listener who owns 3 houses. You're not special, you know? But no matter how many properties you own, you can't live in more than one house at a time. So how greedy you are either. You got to release some of them on the short-term property market, and those are the ones that people like me will stay in for their holidays. Landlords too, they're quite into spirituality from what I've seen. They've got all these affirmative statements peppered up around their houses now. We went to one, solid 500 kilometres from the ocean. Still had a big bowl of seashells on the kitchen table there, didn't it? Just to placate a rat-racing city slicker like me. First thing I did was sit down on a couch next to an embroidered cushion, telling me to dance by myself. First night I was there, right, I did my neck on a clapped-out futon. And I've woken up the next morning and thought, oh, shit, that's no good. But it's fine. Someone's nailed a piece of driftwood to the wall and put in texter, fall down 7 times, get up 8 on that. So, unreal. Probably won't need a doctor now I've read that. Yeah. And they had some mosaics up there too. Mosaics are where you get some of your better stuff in terms of philosophy. They had a homemade mosaic and it said, time is but an illusion. I thought, well, you're damn right it is. The clock doesn't even have numbers. It's just 2 dolphins with some sticks swinging around. I couldn't tell you what time it is. Last day we were there, we ended up checking out 2 hours later than the thing said. And it turned out time was a little more fucking tangible in that instance. So by this early stage of our family getaway, I've got to say all my chakras had turned red. And it was only when I saw that there were 3 plates in the whole house, meaning we had to have a fight over who was going to eat their bangers and mash out of a coffee mug. But nothing placates me more when I'm paying off somebody else's 3rd mortgage than just to sink back into a beanbag that's never been washed and read a really thick tablet of rules of shit I have to do at someone else's house while they're not there. And this one was quite a mixed bag of regimented hospitality. It's sort of, welcome to Forest Dreaming Retreat, everyone. Me casa, su casa. Yeah. Don't touch the air conditioning settings, you fucking grubs. I'll help yourselves out the back to the Balinese rice terrace and water feature. We're prepared for your enjoyment. No kids on the hammocks, you disgusting little renters. And they're quite into power saving and water saving techniques too. Landlords, from what I've seen the world over, are united in their quest to save this beautiful planet, one electricity bill at a time. Don't get me wrong, I love the environment as much as the next bloke with a microphone. But I'll be fucked if I'm going to someone else's house, not just cranking up the aircon to maximum 24 hours per day. So when I get home from hunting at midnight, I can use all the extra blankets. Even in summer, I'm quite partial to a snuggle. One particular enjoyment amendment that really jumped off the page for me in this book of rules was one that said, hey everyone, don't use the kitchen appliances unless you absolutely have to. They draw too much power, horrible for the environment. You people are going to start thinking about what sort of world you want to leave behind for your grandchildren. Me, heaps of properties. You losers are going to have to start thinking about what sort of brand of bear your grandchildren can poke fun at the zoo. So don't use the kitchen appliances, they draw too much power, such as the espresso machine, the blender and the sandwich toaster. Don't use them, because they're too powerful on the electricity, which to me is just a classic, hey everyone, I am up to my tattoos in debt here. I've just borrowed against Nan's pension to keep this thing going. I am literally 1 jaffle and 2 milkshakes away from this whole empire collapsing. Help a battler out, keep his portfolio together, will ya? Yeah. And while you're at it, don't forget to live, laugh and love. So... anyway, I've got to go. Thanks very much for having me. I'm taking it.
more time for all the acts you saw this evening. Aurelia St Clair, Jude Perl, Cassie Workman, and once more for Luke Heggie. My name is Randy Feltface. This has been Randy Feltface and Friends. Have a great night, everybody. Good night. Thank you. Yeah!